Welcome to the Short Funk Podcast. I'm Tom Barbalet, and today, Easter. One of the things that fascinates me about living in the Bay Area, San Francisco Bay Area, is how it's easy to forget Easter. It's easy to forget these religious festivals, and you start to wonder, actually, why these religious festivals are really observed. I often mention to people that Easter's not a holiday in the US. It might be a holiday in some states, but it's not a federal holiday. And for all the religious perspective associated with people in the US, a lot of this comes through the media and the media's representation internationally. I always reflect on the 40% of the adult voting population that actually comes and elects presidents, averaging about 20% or less of the population that actually agrees with any given president, be it Obama or Bush or Clinton, going back in time. And it's this interesting thing associated with legitimacy of the political system, the politicians, but ultimately their belief structure, which is so paper thin. And when you live and work in the San Francisco Bay Area, no company acknowledges Easter. It's like not a thing. I look back at my friends in Australia and the UK that all have the Easter holiday, all have at least time devoted to this thing. And I just think, hyper-consumer capitalism doesn't have time for too many holidays, It's all about basically production uber alles. And the likes of these holidays, these things for children, what have you, don't really register too heavily in the day-to-day life of working. So, again, very similar to my narrative associated with the music that I once sung as a boy, I reflect on these things with a somewhat curious, whimsical perspective, associated with the fact that this was somewhere in my distant past, but in terms of where I am currently, it just doesn't seem to meaningfully exist. And it begs the question when I look at my friends with children in Australia going on Easter egg hunts and painting Easter eggs. I know there are a few folk in the US that still do this, but I just think, what is this future going to hold? What important celebrations will children have other than their birthday, probably the major gift-giving period? I guess in the US you've got things like Thanksgiving, which is another curious festival that we will talk about a little bit closer to when Thanksgiving is normally held. But yeah, I just reflect on the fact that, without these festivals that we used to celebrate when we were in the UK and when we were in Australia, it's just basically about the day-to-day production. It's about getting stuff out, getting work done, just maintaining these practical things, which aren't in any way about whimsy, aren't in any way about, whatever Easter was, wherever I once was. I start to wonder whether I should start creating fantastic holidays, like holidays that just need to be observed for the sake of observing a holiday, and work backwards from there. I don't know. I'm going to have to think on this a little bit more. Tom Barbalet in San Jose, signing out.